This is a quick reference on creating pads. What I'd like to do is create a pad. So I go to the Model tab. In the Model tab, there's a feature called Pad. Again, under the Model tab, there's a feature called Pad. There's also the feature in the Action Pad called Pad. I'm just going to go ahead and pick the pad icon. So normally when you create a sketch, as soon as you exit the sketch, it is already highlighted. So when you hit the pad, I'll just have that highlighted already. You hit the pad, it'll automatically do this. Now, for some reason, you've unhighlighted the pad. So you can see right now, unhighlighted the sketch. You can see right now the sketch is highlighted. If I click in no man's land and I click pad, nothing's happening, okay? So I'm going to close that off. So that's okay. If you did click off of it, it's not a problem. The main thing is you want your pad or your sketch not to be in the construction geometry. You want to make sure your sketch is in the part body. So before making your sketch, make sure your sketch make sure the part body is underlined by making it the in-work object. Otherwise, you're going to get errors. Okay, so I've already got a sketch done. I'm presuming you know how to do a sketch at this point. The sketch is in the proper location under the part body. If you don't know how to do that, I did do a short video on how to create your sketches correctly. Let's go ahead and go to pad. Again, if your sketch was already highlighted, then it will automatically grab it. And what it's asking for here in your pop-up window is it's the profile. And notice on the icon over the right even looks like that sketch icon which you use to make your sketch. So the default here is creating your classic features, just your regular pad, and all you have to do is go right down the list of this pop-up window. So it's highlighting what profile do you want. Again, if you have sketch highlighted already, when you exit the sketch it'll by default do that. If you don't have it, it's no big deal. You just pick sketch off the tree. Now it knows that the sketch is going to be underneath the pad. It wants a length. Let's go 10 inches and hit preview. Now you notice that the numbers here, the 2.5 and the 2-inch dimensions, they're on the back side of this. So if I zoom down to see everything, I see the whole thing, the dimensions on the back, or I should say the constraints. Now if I double click sketch 1, it allows me to modify the sketch. Had I had this constraint in its normal position over here on the left, this is how this would normally be constrained. Usually your constraints are on the left and on the bottom. I'll exit out. If anybody wants to modify the solid, when you double click the solid, the front is in the back and the dimensions are behind that. That's why I always recommend doing a reverse direction. So I hit reverse direction and I hit preview. And now if you double click it, all the constraints are sitting on the front. Plus the YZ plane is the front view. When you create a drawing view, the front view should be the YZ plane on whatever local axis it is you're working on. So that being the front view would be the proper technique. Now if I leave it the way it comes in by default, the front is on the back. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Let's say okay to this and try and clarify that in a drawing. So if I go to a drawing sheet and I insert a front view and I go back to my part, my front view is on the back. If I click on this face, this is going to be my front view, but my local axis system is on the back, and that's where all my constraints are. All the constraints are on the back. So when I click this for location, and then I create a principal view over here, this would be the side view of this. This is a ANSI ASME drawing, so it's a 3rd degree projection, meaning I'm looking at the left side of that rectangle. Okay, so this whole side here represents the left side of that rectangle. When I do another projection, whoops, it's trying to project off of the active view. So let's hit escape or cancel. These red boxes here, the reason why this is so big is because it's trying to find the absolute axis. This is the location of the absolute axis, okay? So I'm going to double click on this frame here, and now it's finds the local axis, and that's why the red box is so big. This is the side view, left side view, active left side view. I want a principal view from the left side view. So I activate principal view or a projected view, and I project this view over here. This front face here, I'm over way too far. Let's see if I can't drag this all over. This is the front face, this is the back, and sorry, this is the front, this is the side, and this is the back view. But that back view is really the front, because when I go back to my part, the back over here, that's the view that's showing over there. But when I make my drawing, I really want that view, because I'm looking at it this way. Okay, so all the constraints should be coming from the front. So if I double click this and reverse that direction and hit preview and say okay, now the view, this view here, is this view over here. And we still have the left side and then the back view down there now. Okay, so again, the proper way to do this, I'm going to delete this view, is have this in this orientation. Make sure you're in the ISO view so you get a proper ISO view. Slide down here and I go to the drawing, and I'm going to go to create a new front view. When I come back to the part, I'm actually clicking on the front face of the solid. Now I got the front on the front, which makes a lot more sense to me. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this over here and say click on it, and it'll accept it, and we'll create a projected view, which is also known as a principal view. Just put my cursor here, double click on the new view I just created, let's go projected view and put a view over here. So this is my front, this is my left side, and this is the back of the part. So this is looking at this face here directly in the positive X direction. Those are called third degree projections. They're 90-degree projections off the part, looking into the part. So let's go. I'm going to try and minimize this. Right click here and do a resume widget. Then I'm going to click on this and I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to try and drag and drop this onto that one. Oh, that didn't seem to work. Let's try that again. Now I can see the drawing view. Again, I don't even know how to invert that. Can I just do this? Yeah. So this front face right here is this face here. Okay, and then this side over here is this side over here. And then this back view here is this view over here. Okay, so I'm going to full screen that one. Back to my ISO view. Hopefully that gives clarification why the pad goes in the negative x direction.